Hi, I'm Mike from PrepToSurvive.com, and today I just wanted to make a quick video and just go over the basics of a go bag or a 72-hour kit, depending on the what you prefer to call it. But this by no means is all-inclusive. This is just the basics of what most experts and most people feel it should be in a 72-hour kit. So we'll get started. I'll start with the bag itself. I mean, you can use just about any bag, but as long as it holds all your stuff. I prefer a waterproof bag. If for whatever reason you have a preference for a bag that is not waterproof, I would suggest using Ziploc bags and garbage bags to keep certain items like medical supplies, batteries, fire starting equipment, warm change of clothes, dry change of clothes, that sort of thing, dry. Just if your bag's not waterproof. Next, I would say food. MREs, I'm a big fan of these just for the simple fact that they're very high in calories and in a high stress, high physical exertion situation. They're going to do very, very well with keeping your energy level up. In the military, we like to field strip them, which is basically just taking out stuff that you don't need and just leaving the actual meal items. You don't. There's like heaters in them and all kinds of other stuff that you really don't need. I mean, they sometimes taste better if you warm them up, but it's not a necessity. And once that stuff is out, you can see how small these things break down. I mean, you can fit 8 of these into a bag very easily, broken down like this. You can take them closed, and they store very, very easily. Another food item that I like to carry is energy bars, Clif bars, power bars, whatever your personal preference. But these work really well to eat on the go. If you don't have the luxury of staying static or staying still and starting a fire and warming food, or you don't want to draw attention to yourself, these are great. You can eat them, hand them off to the kids. Most of these things taste good enough that most kids will eat them as well. So just one of the things that I'd like to have in there. Next, water. You definitely want something to carry your water. An Nalgene bottle or a Camelback works great. After you drink the water, the potable water that you have available, then you're going to want to be able to make more clean water. Hence, the tablets. You can use tablets. We have these on our site. You can get them just about any camping store or anything like that. Basically, you drop a couple tablets depending on the volume of water, and a little while later you have clean drinking water. There's other methods out there. There's gravity-fed filters. Just really depends on your situation and personal preference. Obviously, gravity-fed is going to take a while for it to filter. You can get those straws that you can stick in streams and lakes and rivers that you just suck straight from the river, and it gets the giardia and all that stuff out of it. There's UV pins. There's a bunch of different things out there. Just depends on your personal preference. Next is I have this little kit that I got, just a little cooking kit. It's a pot, a frying pan, a cup. It has utensils, all that stuff, all in this nice little, it all stacks one inside of the other, like those little Russian nesting dolls. But basically they get nothing too much to say about it. It works, it's very compact, it's easy to carry around. Next is light. I prefer headlamps, flashlights. They occupy one of your hands. A lot of people will stick them in their mouth, that sort of thing. Headlamp, you stick it onto your head. You have both hands free for whatever task you need to take care of. Wherever you look, that's where the light shines. I mean, that's where you want the light anyway. So personal preference. Some extra spare batteries in a Ziploc bag, just as a backup. Kimlite. I enjoy redundancy with a lot of my items. Kimlites work really, really well. You just snap them, shake them, and they work excellent. They almost never fail as long as they're not already broken. Red is what I prefer. They're excellent at night. Anybody that's operated at night and understands night vision and that sort of thing, once you see white light, it messes up your night vision for at least 30 minutes or more. Until you can get it back. Red light does not do that. So I prefer red Kimlites to read maps and that sort of thing and operate at night. Next thing I'd like to touch on is warmth items, or basically sleeping, that sort of thing. Hand warmers, great if you're in a cold environment, wet environment. Could be the difference between keeping your fingers or not. Sleeping mat. Sleeping mats are great. If you've watched any survival show, you've seen where guys have slept on the ground, and they always put like branches or leaves or some sort of air barrier between them and the ground. The ground will suck the heat right out of you. Medical supplies. I always have a Ziploc bag, and kind of learned the Ziploc bag thing from being on the ski patrol. We always wanted to keep everything dry and sterile. So I have gauze in here, I have QuikClot, the gloves, pressure dressings, regular bandages, antiseptic ointment, Neosporin, alcohol prep pads to clean out wounds, that sort of thing, tweezers, just any of that kind of stuff. And we'll probably touch on that in another video segment. Have some combat gauze, QuikClot, and a tourniquet for more serious injuries. Hygiene items: razor, shaving cream. You get a little travel size stuff. Toothpaste, toothbrush. Knives. I love knives. They can be used for almost anything you use as a tool. They can be used to prepare your food. They can be used to help you make shelter, self-defense. It's probably, in my personal humble opinion, one of your more important tools. This one's a little kit that a really good buddy of mine gave me, and rubberized handle, non-slip, works great. Just a little Smith & Wesson. Has a gut hook knife that you can use to skin. You can use it to clean fish, that sort of thing. Little hatchet to split small wood to help make a fire or help build a shelter. This knife I just barely ordered off our site. It's a Black Fox. Be patient with us. We're still loading products, so we don't have all of our knives on there yet. This one I was very, very impressed with when I got it. It's very well made, wood handle, stainless blade, just full tang, everything about it, top notch. Very, very impressed with it. That's the one I carry on my hip, mostly for self-defense. One thing I'd like to touch on is whenever I'm talking about multi-tools, because they come in such a wide range of quality and the price point is so different between them, is products that you're using or items that you're using in an emergency situation and possibly a life or death situation, I personally don't feel is the place to be trying to save a dollar or two. Obviously there's a time and a place for that, but with things that you're putting your life and your family's life in the hands of, I personally don't think that's the place to do it. But anyway, multi-tools. Anybody that's used one, and most everybody has, you have pretty much every tool you're going to need. You have pliers, you got cutters, you got Phillips head, flathead, files, knives, can openers. I mean, pretty much anything you could possibly need. But next, we have fire starting devices. You have a little Zippo here, just a really easy way to start a fire, but if for some reason that fails, once again, redundancy. I personally like the Swedish Steel, or this one here is a magnesium starter, where you just shave off some of the magnesium into some tinder, some char cloth, that sort of thing. Once again, something else we'll cover in another next video, how to make char cloth, and make a spark, and you have fire. These work great. It could be soaking wet outside, raining cats and dogs, and this will still make a spark, as long as you can keep your tinder dry. Next is a poncho hat. Poncho hats, you can get them at any Army Navy store. They work great. You can wear them. It just goes over like a poncho would, with a hood on it, so you can stay dry that way. But also great for making a shelter. If you're one person, you can use this in many different configurations to keep. If you're on wet ground, you can have half of it underneath you, half of it over you. You got a sleeping mat. You have a nice dry place to sleep. But the great thing about them is if you have multiple people, they have these snaps on them. I don't know if you can see them, but this is the male end and the female end. And basically what they do is they snap together. You can put a you can put 2, 3, 4 of them together and make a nice large shelter that keeps everybody dry. So they work great in that capacity. They have the grommets on the side as well, to where you can tie 550 cord and to assist in that. Map and compass. Lensatic compass works great, and having a map as well of your area or the place that you plan on trying to get to, then that's definitely advantageous. I already touched on a dry change of clothes and also a jacket. You definitely want a jacket. This one's a nice Under Armour jacket my wife got me. Hood. It's their storm line. It keeps you dry as well. Waterproof. Have this. Anybody that's these are pretty much everywhere now. Hollywood's using them as a fashion statement, but those of us that have been over to the Middle East, they are multi-purpose. You can wet them down, put them around your neck, and basically keep your body core temperature down. You can use them to keep the sun off you, throw them over your head, keep from getting sunburn, getting sun exposure, that sort of thing. You can stay dry with them. You can make bandages out of them by cutting them into strips. You can make a tourniquet out of it. It's endless what you can do with it. But as far as most of the things that I feel are mandatory that you should have in your kit, that kind of covers them all. The last thing I like to cover is a pistol. At a minimum, I feel it's a necessity. Anytime that you can look on the news and look on the internet, and anytime there is an emergency situation, there is always, always, always opportunists. There's people that are going to try to take advantage of other people. It's a sad fact of life, but it's a fact of life. Pistol, extra mags, got plenty of ammo. I would even suggest maybe even having a rifle, something like that, even if it's a little 22 to hunt with for food, that sort of thing. But basically, I personally feel it's a must-have, and it's when it comes to my safety and the safety of those that I love. I'm not going to go looking for trouble, but if it comes looking for me, then I'm going to make sure that I can handle that situation. Speaking of family, some things that I have done and I'd like to share with you is that when I made my kids' go bags, I actually took a family photo and of all of us, and then on the back wrote our names and contact info of me and my wife. So if for some reason our kids get separated from us, hopefully some kind-hearted individual will help them get back to where they belong. So that is a very, very good tool for them to have in there, as well as a comfort item. Favorite stuffed animal, if they like to draw, crayons with some little pad of paper or something like that. I know it sounds funny, but to a little kid who gets yanked out of their bed possibly in the middle of the night and there's chaos going on around them, flood or whatever, having something small like that to kind of anchor them emotionally is of great benefit to them and you. If you don't have them crying and screaming and those sorts of things, then you're more able to handle the situation at hand and not have to focus on them. So just a little nugget of information that I wanted to share with you that I felt was important. And some other things, optional items. I carry a little set of binoculars. You never know. Signal mirror, a whistle, things of those nature. Things of that nature in case you're injured and you're trying to get somebody's attention. I bought this just for the purpose of bringing it up, but there's these little crank radios and crank flashlights that don't depend on batteries, allow you to listen to the radio and find out what's going on with the situation of at hand. So that's a good one. I think that's about it. Like I said, this is by no means all inclusive. Whatever you feel you can carry on your back, you're more than welcome to carry. I would highly suggest that you keep it under 45 to 50 pounds if you're in really good shape, just because just the studies have shown that that's the kind of the max that somebody can carry on a regular basis and be moving and not get too burdened down. But no, that's pretty much it. But make sure you stop by the site, prep2survive.com, and check out all of our products. We try to price everything as low as possible so that we can give you the best possible deal. Also, like us on Facebook and Twitter. If you like us on Facebook and like our posts with our monthly giveaway, you're automatically entered. This month is a Damascus Blade hunting knife, gut hook knife. And next month we're going to be giving away a jacket, possibly two. We're trying to find a his and hers Under Armour jacket that we feel is appropriate. If that happens, then we'll be giving two away. And that's about it. But thank you very much for stopping by. It was our pleasure sharing this little bit of information with you. And by all means, please give us your comments. We're always looking to improve. And if there's products you'd like to see, by all means, send us a message. We'll see you next time, and thanks for stopping by.